Loaded
Sport.
Sport.
Does it second, man?
No, I don't think he does. I think Kevin Keegan probably sits second.
Oh my God, what a scandal.
Austin Eckler versus the Cards. Go and fuck the lot of you.
God, Eckler.
He's making me like I'm some sort of cameo, like I've come in and go, hand out the bag, England to win.
Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Loaded Sport, where today we are going to be previewing the return of the Premier League action after the FA Cup weekend last weekend, and also looking towards wildcard weekend of the National Football League.
Oh, best weekend of the year, lads.
You know
Let's do
what?
it.
It's suited that you're the one that jumped straight in, because I made a promise to myself that you're the first person I'm going to introduce, because every week I try and leave you till last, and every week you butt in and get in the way of everyone else. So, Skin, how are you
Okay,
doing? I'm
now.
coming to you first.
Fuck off.
It's good then, yeah, brilliant. Okay, so let's move on to Sam. You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. I'm absolutely buzzing for this weekend of NFL action we've got coming up. I know a lot of our listeners are more bothered about football, but I'm so hyped for NFL. I can't lie. This weekend, it's the best weekend of the NFL schedule for me. Super wildcard weekend. Let's have it.
Exciting times. And as well as that, we're going to introduce Kemp, who I'm sure you've got a very different look towards this weekend as a Giants fan.
Absolutely fucking not. I'm buzzing. Let's go. We've got nothing
Come
to
on.
lose. We've not been
Love
there in
that.
6 years. Let's fucking give it a go. Let's have a bit of bants. Let's do it.
I've
How
got
you
one
doing?
one
How-
word
how
of
we doing,
advice
mate?
for you. Got one word of
Yeah.
advice for you, Kem. Just enjoy the weekend by being
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
disciplined, mate.
Yeah.
By being fucking
yeah.
disciplined.
Anyway, sorry, I did that wrong. Mr. Dawson, Mr. Whiteman with the mic. How are we all doing?
Very
Ag,
good.
how
thank
are you, mate?
Yeah,
Yourself?
how are you?
Yeah, loving life. Giants are playing playoff football, baby.
I mean, I did ask Ag, like, but Ag, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Seahawks are playing playoff football. So
How's
I
that happen, by
went
the
for it,
way?
and
How's that
I've
happen?
no fucking idea, and
Yeah.
everyone keeps writing us off. I've looked at the odds, and we're on the exact same odds as the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl, 80-1.
Yeah, it's about right. It's about right.
So,
But
it's
anyway,
not gonna happen.
yeah, we'll get back. We'll get on
Well,
to that later.
Plenty
so
of
let's
time to
crack on.
talk
Leave it.
about the NFL.
Leave it.
We start by looking at the latest in the transfer window. And Skin, I'm going to come to you first as a Manchester United supporter.
Go on, then.
There's a history of how Manchester United seem to go for bizarre loan deals. We've seen Dubravka. We've seen plenty of crazy choices in the past. This one is for Weghorst. Is that how that's pronounced? Weghorst?
Wout
Veghorst.
Veghorst.
There you
Yeah,
go.
love that.
Veghorst.
I've murdered that name, so I apologise. But there you go. You guys have nailed it. Skin, I'm going to start with you. Your thoughts on the loan deal?
I'm going to keep it short and sweet, mate, because I get a lot of stick from my rants and how I go on. And you said there about the crazy loan deals that United have had over the years. I'm going to review, or I'm going to assess my opinion on the Veghorst loan by saying that he will be more Henrik Larsson than he will be Igalo.
Ooh, Jesus, it's a statement and half,
So-
you know.
Yeah, Henrik Larsson about, I can't remember the exact year, but I want to say sort of the late 2000s, maybe a rough guess.
Yeah.
Came in on loan in the twilight of his career, we'll say, and didn't blow anyone away by any means, but he did the job that he was brought in to do. And I think that Veghorst will do very much that. He's a 6'7" striker. He is a type of player that United don't have in that area of the pitch at the moment, and is being brought in for that very reason. A lot of people talk about his record at Burnley, 2 goals in 20 games, which, yes, fair enough. He didn't perform for them, but we can talk about systems and players around him and all that kind of stuff. He showed what he can do when trusted on, when he's played in Germany for Wolfsburg. He has performed. He's at a 1 goal every 2 games level for Besiktas, which granted isn't at the same level as Manchester United in the Premier League, but he also showed what he can do on the biggest stage in the World Cup when he came on against Argentina, scored those 2 late goals to take that game to extra time. So he's not going to start every game. He's not going to play every game, but he's an absolutely brilliant option for me over this next, 4-5 months or so, to bring on set pieces, need a goal, start the odd game, and just offer that something a little bit different. And like I said, he's not going to start every game, but it's always good to have different options available depending on what game or scenario you've got in front of you. So for £3 million for a few months, I've got absolutely no issues with it whatsoever.
Took words out of my mouth there, Dawson, when you said something different. That's exactly what he offers, is that, you know, you've got these strikers, you've got Martial, who's been playing up front, Rashford, who's been playing up front at times. Obviously, is more effective coming off that left. I will admit now.
There it is.
But he offers, like you say, he offers something different. United these days, especially, often do play with Anthony coming off that right, Rashford coming off that left, sort of as inside forwards more than anything else. So
inverted wingers.
Yeah, but I'd say inverted wingers. I'd say they're maybe a little bit more defensive than inside forwards. It's almost as if it's a 4-3-3 really. And Rashford and Anthony really play that role well. I mean, you saw Anthony's goal the other day. Fair enough, it was against Charlton, but they all count. And I think Weghorst will be a really good option to get it into his feet, hold the ball up, wait for Rashford and Anthony and whoever's playing on those wings to make those runs, behind the last man. And like you say, Dawson summed it up there, perfectly. Is that he offers something different, and I think one thing that United fans need to do is trust Ten Hag, because so far, apart from the first couple of weeks of the season where he was getting his feet under the table, he's not let you down so far. So Eric Ten Hag, Manchester United fans, I believe, should trust.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's not the only signing that's taken place over the last couple of days that has controversially raised a couple of eyebrows. We're also going to look at the signing of João Felix to Chelsea, or as Facebook chat seems to know it as, Felixstowe. So, Sam, I'm going to start with you on your thoughts.
Your phone threw you under the bus with that one, mate.
Felixstowe.
It was awful. I put Felix, and for some reason it decided to correct it automatically to Felixstowe. But there we go. Sam, we're going to start with you on your thoughts of not just the loan signing, the option that Chelsea have gone for, but also the fact that they're paying a fee, paying his full wages, and they've got him on loan until the end of the season.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I don't rate him personally, so I think I'm going to be quite negative here. I've never really seen a game where he's been the man of the match. He's been the standout star. In that Portugal team, he just always seems to look lost around the talent that's around him. And I don't think he's certainly not the sort of player that's that Chelsea need at the minute. Is not going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and drag them to wins. I can't see that at all. He's a flair player, he's a luxury player, and I just don't think he's the guy they need. No, I really don't rate him myself, and I dare say Weghorst will be a much better signing than Felix.
Okay, well, Skin, you put this question to social media, so I'll tell you a couple of people's responses. First of all, let you know what they think and let me know what you thought of their opinions. So, Kerowin, who was here last week doing the listener lock-in, he's put that Chow has a lot of hype surrounding him, and he has for a long time. But he's never seen him live up to the hype. Pretty much similar to what you've said there, then Sam. So, in any form, he can't see him turn their season around. But stranger things have happened. Kemp, I'm going to ask you. They are currently 10 points off fourth place. That is currently occupied by United. They both have a game in hand over Newcastle, so effectively they can gain 3 points on fourth place because Newcastle would mathematically fall there. Both sides on 35 points, Chelsea 25. Do you think that Felix could really help them elevate into the top four?
No, he's very similar to a lot of players they've already got, which is quite strange. He's like Christian Pulisic, him, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz. They're all Raheem Sterling even this season. They're all sort of the same player. These wingers that haven't really got a lot of end product. They're quite passive. You can't see him really, beating a man and really doing damage with pace. It's a signing of, if you ask me, what sort of player do Chelsea not need to sign? I think at the top of my list would be João Felix. He's absolutely not what they need right now, and it's a strange one. I feel like a lot of the signings they've made this season are strange ones. I saw a list earlier that was sent across to me with all the signings that they've made so far this season, and I don't think any of them have worked. From Fofana onwards, they don't seem to have worked. So it's a strange one, but Chelsea's a strange situation at the moment. He might prove us all wrong, but in general, I agree with Sam that he's not going to make a difference. And I sort of said in my predictions a couple of weeks ago that Chelsea were going to be the sort of surprise package, and Graham Potter would turn it around. But this sort of signing is not filling me with confidence. But there you go. What do you think to it, Adam? More importantly,
me, I think it's a bad signing for Chelsea. I think financially it doesn't make sense. The fact that they're paying them, I think it's nearly 10 million just to take him on loan for half of the
I think it's
season.
11. Is it 11?
11,
It's 11,
is it 11?
yeah.
So 11 million to take him on loan until the end of the season. I don't think he's going to be effective. Like you've just touched on there, the fact that all their attacking players seem very similar, and they've got a history of having attacking players that don't seem to be able to perform. And that brings me on to the next point, which, Skin, I'm going to ask you about now. Nathan Middleton has got in touch on Facebook. He's put that £10 million will be a drop in the ocean if he gets them to top 4, which is looking extremely unlikely at the moment. Is sure that how they're looking at it, Chelsea have become a laughing stock in transfer windows, especially the Aubameyang one. So that was a signing that was made by Tuchel. Aubameyang went there specifically to play for Tuchel. He'd got a very good goal-scoring record for him in the past, but he's another one of those players that, for Arsenal, he played out on the wing a little bit as well, didn't he?
I'm glad you've brought that up because it was going to lead into the point that I made there. That, as you mentioned, the comment that was that £10 million is a drop in the ocean. In the grand scheme of things, of course it is, with the money that Chelsea have got with their owners, TV money, and all that kind of stuff. Of course, grand scheme of things, 10 million isn't the biggest amount of money. But when you look, when you take a step back and take into account that apparently Aubameyang is going to be allowed to move to another club. They've now essentially paid £25 million combined for 2 players at 6 months each, with Aubameyang and now João Felix. So over time, that will add up with these kind of. It's a strange approach. How often do we see a player of João Felix's level or caliber or whatever you want to call it loaned out to another team? It's not very often, really, when you look at the history of loan signings. So. It's a different approach. I'm struggling to see what both Atletico and Chelsea are getting out of this, with the fact that apparently the rumours are that there's no buy option in the loan. It is essentially a loan till the end of the season for around that £11 million fee that was mentioned earlier. So I've got a theory, and Sam, I know we've spoken about this briefly. You kind of shut it down with the fact that there's been a big fallout, and that's one of the reasons why the deal sort of opened up, or the potential for it to happen opened up in the first place. But the rumours are that Diego Simeone will be stepping away at the end of the season. That may be confirmed, so correct me on that if anyone knows for definite, but I'm not sure. But yeah, apparently he's stepping away at the end of the season. With Chelsea's turmoil at the moment, with their revolving door in the manager position, has Diego Simeone sent or allowed, not sent personally, because ultimately it's not down to him, but allowed or greenlit the move for João Felix to go to Chelsea on loan to the end of the season as a bit of a, scouting report on the situation, be off field and everything like that, to see if that is his potential next job in football?
Honestly, I can't disagree with this theory more. By the way,
I know.
There's been well documented such a huge fallout between the 2 players. I just can't see João Felix doing him any kind of favours whatsoever. There's been substitutions he's made where he's been kicking water bottles, walking straight off that tunnel, waving hands in air as it comes off, and it's not a good relationship between them 2. And I cannot see him bending over backwards for his manager. That might all
be a ruse, though. You don't know.
That's it. It's all acting big.
Oh, mate, don't fucking feed it. Don't feed it.
Listen,
feed him.
There are not 2 blokes in this world that appreciate a big sell more than me and Kem. So I can see why you would be on my side with that. Seeing all that.
I mean, it's absolutely bollocks, but I'd love to.
Mate, even I don't believe it, really.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just funny, though, isn't it?
Right, the final comment is from Michael Donnelly, who says he doesn't know why any forward player would want to go to Chelsea. Look at all the big-name forwards that have signed for Chelsea the last few years. Lots of big names have all bottled it, and I suppose you can go back as far as looking at the likes of Torres, who struggled after signing from Liverpool, Shevchenko, who we know was very good in Europe and playing for Milan. He struggled at Chelsea as well more recently. Now, obviously, we've just spoken about a couple there, so...
But then there are exceptions to that rule. Didier Drogba is an absolute legend of the game. Played at Chelsea.
I think it's more recent, isn't it? They've not really had anybody since Drogba.
You went back a bit to pick him out.
Yeah,
but I'm not going back as far as Shevchenko. Let's be honest.
No, I thought I would said him, to be honest.
Shevchenko wore the number 7. That links into my point of Drogba wore 15 and then 11 for Chelsea. You know what I'm like with squad numbers, but it is the curse of the number 9 at Chelsea, isn't it? That has been pretty much since Drogba left. The sort of theory that anyone that's moved there to be that main man up top has really struggled, regardless of the caliber and the previous history. But it's very strange. They've had different managers, different systems, but they seem to, no matter who they've brought in, really struggle to nail down that front man. it's a bit of a weird one. I don't really know.
And that's why for me, and again, his stats haven't been fantastic. I mean, they've been pretty bad to be fair, but I think he scored a few in Europe. Armando Broja, who's out injured for Chelsea, he was showing a lot of potential before he got injured himself. And I think bringing a lone player in until the end of the season or for a few months to sort of see where the land lies, I don't think that's such a bad shout. I just think João Felix himself is a bad shout because, of all the reasons that we've listed. But, bringing a lone player in, getting somebody until the end of the season who needs to prove a point, let's be honest, Chelsea, their best case scenario is top 6. Reevaluate at the end of the season. They've got Armando Broja, 21-year-old forward who's shown a lot of promise. I don't think all is lost, and I do think that Broja actually might be a decent player. Very early to tell, but yeah, it's not the signing itself. It's more who they've signed rather than the position that they've tried to fill. But you are right about that Chelsea position. I don't know what it is. I don't know why the pressure is. I don't know if it is pressure, but it seems difficult, and it seems like that number 9 shirt. It weighs heavy on a lot of shoulders. So it's an interesting one, and one that we'll definitely keep an eye on.
So just to conclude the chat around Chelsea, one word answer only. Kemp, do they make top 4?
No.
Skin?
No.
Sam?
No.
No.
Can I go one further and say they don't make top 6?
I was just about to say that. I think the more sort of relevant answer is I'll go around the group now and ask what I think is a better question. Sam, do you think they make top 6?
No.
Adam, do you think they make top 6?
I don't know.
Dawson, do you think they make top 6?
No,
I don't. Is that you're not sure?
No, there's a comma after I don't, so it's no.
Okay.
And I don't think they make top 6. Well, sorry, Dawson, I thought you said
no. Absolutely not, mate.
Yeah, and I don't think they do either. So you've asked a pretty decent question for Chelsea there, because usually it's a case of, are Chelsea going to be in the hunt for something and make top 4 this season? I think it's they're not going to make top 6.
See, the thing is with them being top 6 is they're only 3 points away from it, and I know there's still a lot of the season to play for. And I think if they can turn things around at the moment, there's no reason why they couldn't make top 6.
No, I just can't see
it.
You've got what? City, Arsenal, United, Newcastle, Liverpool. You would assume
it's pretty
and then
set right
Tottenham.
there, isn't it? As it is.
Yeah. So it's going to be close for that 6th spot. I'd say if they're going to get it, it will be 6. I can't see it being any higher than that. But I think Spurs.
I think Spurs haven't been phenomenal this season, but Conte's Conte. He finds a way to get those results and get teams where they need to be. Come hell or high water. And then you've got the introduction of Newcastle this season, who are actually having a barnstormer, and then the rest of the top 6 will stay the same. So I think Chelsea a 7th place finish is probably the best they're going to hope for.
Absolutely. So the other question that was asked on social media, Eric Ten Hag has reportedly introduced a salary cap at Manchester United of £200,000 per week. What impact, if any, could that have on their transfer activity moving forward and their ability to attract top players? Kerwin has replied with, a salary cap is a good idea, instantly puts off big players coming in and asking for stupid wages. I'm sure they'll make up for it in bonuses now, though. I think they'll still attract big names because of the club and the fact they're on an upward trajectory. Now, there was rumour of this being the situation at Tottenham as well, so I think it's something very similar that maybe stop them from really reaching the heights that what people thought of looking at their squad about 5-6 years ago. So, Skin, as a United fan, I'm going to stay with you first on this one. Your thoughts, first of all, of having the wage cap, the salary cap, if you will, introduced at Manchester United, if it is true. And do you think that's really going to have an impact on any of the signings that Manchester United could make?
You would hope not, because let's face it, £200,000 a week still isn't a figure to be sniffed at. If it was, say, £100,000 a week, I would say it would definitely have an impact in terms of bringing on those top players. But £200,000 a week to come and play for that club, for that project, for the future that they're clearly building, or there are signs that they're building, and the history and the legacy and everything that goes in with that, I can't really see it having an impact. And let's be honest, if you want more than £200,000 to go and play for Manchester United, again, with everything that I've just mentioned there, assuming that they carry on at the trajectory they're currently going at, you don't want that kind of player in the squad anyway, if that makes sense. So I think it works both ways. So, yeah, it's not it's still not a weekly figure to be sniffed at. So I don't think it will have too much of an impact. But any player that turns around and goes, well, I want more than that, and that's their sort of attitude, and they don't buy into the other side of it, you kind of don't want them anyway. So, like I said, I think it works both ways.
Yeah, I get that to an extent. However, it's it's modern day, innit? It's these players have got so much power, and I think it's all about knowing your own personal worth and personal value. And I think, like, I've taken a name, for example, Mo Salah. He's on about 400 grand a week at Liverpool when he's had a decent game, like with bonuses. That's double. That's double what Man United are putting on as a cap limit. I mean, I know there will be bonuses on top of that, but I like the theory behind it. I do, but I think we've seen Tottenham and Arsenal in recent years struggle with certain wage structures and capped wages, and I just think it might hamper them unnecessarily. It doesn't really need to be there. But I mean, how much is Jadon Sancho on? He's on an absolute.
I was just about to come in on this.
It's about 350, I think. I might be way off on that. But
just one second. Just hold on. Just so you've got. So you've got Jadon Sancho on about 350k, and then these new players are coming in on 200 grand a week, and they're thinking, hold on, he's still on 350 grand a week here. Like he's not even in squad at minute. Like there's got are they bringing his wage down? I did see something with David De Gea where I think he's the first one that this is going to affect, and I don't know how it's going to affect him. Didn't really go into detail on how it's going to affect him, but so are they going to start bringing the current players' wages down, or?
I imagine it'll be if he wants to sign a new contract, he's got to fall in line with that cap, won't it? I imagine that's what it'll be. But
that's the tip of the iceberg. That's the tip of the iceberg because from what I've seen and what I've read, and hoping that these are accurate sources, but Casemiro is allegedly on £300,000 a week. Rafael Varane is allegedly on £340,000 a week. They're two new signings. Yeah. Sancho, £350,000 a week. So, all right, he's not as new as those pair, but he is still a fairly new addition and signed a fairly long-term deal. And De Gea's on 375 grand a week. I know there's been talk of restructuring De Gea's contract, but I think De Gea signed his most previous contract in 2019. So it's easier to do that for De Gea than it is for the other players. But what are they going to do? Are they going to go to Casemiro and Varane in 6 months after they signed him and say, "Oh, I know we offered you £300,000 a week, but actually we're bringing this salary cap in now, so you're going to have to reduce it to 200." They're not going to do that.
No.
So in theory, it's a good idea, and in theory, I understand why they've done it. I understand why they're putting a cap on salaries, making sure that nobody gets envious and there's that bad atmosphere in the camp. But at the same time, that figure of 200 grand a week, it's a strange one because, like Sam's just said, you're going to be bringing top players as you can for 200 grand a week. Saying this is our wage structure, we can't offer you any more. But then you've got at least 3 or 4 players that are already earning more, so it's still going to cause that problem. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to get around that and how it's going to work.
Can I just very quickly return the tennis ball, Nadal cross-court-esque, and say that one of the biggest complaints, not just as a United fan, but I've seen this sort of across the board and people looking into the Manchester United situation over the last few years, especially under Solskjaer. And I personally, as a United fan, thought that Solskjaer got a lot of stick, but it was very much the inmates are running the asylum. Stories of reports behind the scenes were getting leaked to the media, and that's why a lot of stories about players were coming out, is because it was the United players themselves that were giving that information and all that kind of stuff. For me, it's all about getting things back under control, and this isn't going to be a long-term thing. This isn't going to last forever. 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the line, this isn't going to be in place, but this is all about getting back to basics, regaining control, getting things back on a level and rebuilding, because that is the stage that Manchester United are at. It's well documented and everyone knows about the form and the struggles that Manchester United have been in on the field since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And, we don't need to go through it again, but Erik ten Hag, in such a short period of time, he is halfway through his very first season, has restored hope, has restored faith, has restored any kind of structure that seemed to be lacking. And yes, the Glazers are still there and all that kind of stuff is still an issue for the broader group of Manchester United fans, but we know that is something that looks like is in the process of changing. Erik ten Hag is in such a vulnerable position at the moment, not in terms of his job and his future, but there's been so much focus on off-field and on-field lack of success over the last few years, he can't control what the Glazers do in terms of selling the club, providing funds or anything like that. All he can do is focus on what happens on the pitch. And to be honest, you said it earlier, Kemp, about Ten Hag getting the benefit of the doubt with the Weghorst signing. And that is what he has earned. Yes, on paper, it might seem a bit like, well, are you chasing success? Are you trying to do this? But with everything that's happened, get back control of that football club, because that football club, that name, that Manchester United, that badge is bigger than any player across the world of any ability can bring in. And we saw that with Ronaldo. And ultimately, Manchester United came out on top. And now Ronaldo is playing out in Saudi Arabia 1 month after saying he wasn't interested in that. He wasn't bothered about the money. He could still go to a high level. So for me, I trust in Erik ten Hag, and he's not given me any reason so far to think otherwise. And I think time will tell if this is the right decision. But for now, like you said yourself, we've got to trust that decision.
Yeah, and I don't. Sorry, Sam. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. You know, I can't disagree with anything that you've just said there. But this move, because of the salaries that already exist, I'm not saying it's a bad decision. I think it's the right thing to do, bringing a salary cap in and making sure that these problems don't start again. Rebuilding, taking back control, that discipline, it works. It's everything that Manchester United need. I completely agree. But I'll return. I'm not going to use a tennis reference because, you know,
don't get him fucking rambling again. We've just got him shut up.
But well, I know, but it's important that we get, you know, I get an answer out of Dawson on this question, because how is it going to work? How is a £200,000 salary cap going to work when you just brought in 2 players on 300 plus grand? How is that going to work? I don't understand it.
I don't know the answer to that. All I can say is that you've got to trust in the badge, you've got to trust in the name, you've got to trust in the project, and you've got to trust in Erik ten Hag. Because
I do.
No, not you personally, but I mean the players themselves that might come in and say,
I think
well, I was on 250 grand before. Because again, 200 grand a week isn't to be sniffed at. If we've had this conversation with NFL, like if I was a player on 300 grand a week that wasn't really winning anything, I personally would take 200 grand a week and push for Champions League, push for Premier League, which is clearly Ten Hag's goal. And you would hope, in theory, that a lot of players have that mindset as well. And if they don't, do you really want them anyway? If they get put on 200 grand a week and they're moaning that they're not on 300 grand a week, do you really want them anyway?
Yeah, but if you've got Newcastle that are in a similar position to United at the minute, similar form to United at the minute, you know, are not as big a club, nowhere near as big a club as United, but they've got a young manager, they've got great owners, they've got loads
great
of
history,
money.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
If Newcastle come in and say, "Well, we'll give you 300 grand a week," then, you know, I understand what you're saying about success, but Newcastle look like they're on an upward trend. And ultimately, being a footballer, it's a relatively short career. You get, 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
You know, so they're going to want to maximise their earnings. And like Sam said earlier, player power and the amount of money that these players can command is ridiculous. So, again, I don't want to go on this for too long. And Sam, I know you were going to come on this point. You know,
No, I'm not. No, I'm done.
In a minute.
Wish you'd come on me.
But you know, I just don't understand how they're going to attract the top players, first of all, because, like, you know, football's all about money, has been for years. And if they go to another project that's promising and they're looking to pay more, then surely they're going to go there. And I don't understand how it works with the earners that are on, you know, much more than that now. And I don't know how effective the salary cap's going to be because of those earners.
Yeah, again, only time will tell. You know, they've not got the funds this window. And depending on when the Glazers do sell, if they sell, or what investment they get, will obviously dictate how successful the summer is when it comes to signings. So who's to say how successful it will be? And it's like chucking a dart at a dartboard into it at this moment in time. But like I say, only time will tell, and I'm sure we'll review it, you know, say a couple of years down the line to say it worked or that was a terrible decision.
Lads, thank you very much for your insights into those talking points, but get your pens and your paper ready, because in just a few moments' time we'll be welcoming second to take on listener lock-ins Jason Young, and looking at our wild cards as well.
Go on, Jay.
Welcome back to episode 21 of Loaded Sport. We're now going to move on to the locks of the week and the wildcard and our second listener lock-in. Welcoming Jason Young. Jay, welcome to Loaded Sport.
Yes, Jason.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
It's great to have you here. The second person to have a go at the listener lock-in. You excited?
Yeah, Kieran did well last week, so
No pressure on you, is there?
Who's
It's not
Kieran?
It's Kerwin.
Kerwin.
I just call him Kieran. Sorry, Kerwin.
Easy that way. Jay, just tell us a bit about the team you support and your way into football.
Oh dear.
Wayne's football, basically, just playing football at school, really. 6 years old, and then I've never looked back since. Started playing for a local side, North Wingfield Colts. Under 6s, under 7s, stayed.
Indianapolis is his brother.
Oh, shut up. What position did you play, Jason?
Do you believe it or not? My first 2 seasons, I was centre attacking mid, and I was top
Is
scorer.
it?
Love that little Cam,
Yeah.
number 10.
Yeah, I was number 10.
Love
Leading
that.
goal scorer for 2 seasons, and then as goalkeeper got injured. And I've always, you guys will know, I'm a
Yeah.
tall lad, big lad, and manager stuck me at net. And
The
I was
rest is history.
I've enjoyed that, yeah, and the rest is history. So,
I love that. I've always known you as a goalkeeper. I never knew that little factoid
Yeah.
about the number 10 role. Love that.
34
Jason, talk to
still playing.
us. Love that, mate. Love that. You've you keep saying every year you're going to hang gloves up, and then you do for a bit, and then you get taste for it again, don't you? When the season starts.
You're only here once, aren't you? So, whilst you still can play, you best play.
Play
Because
until you can't, mate. Play until you
That's
can't.
it. That's it. So I don't want to be one of them going, "Oh, I wish I'd have done it for another year or another 2 years." So
You'll
I
know,
just
mate. You'll know.
When
I
he
take
starts
it year
going.
by year. Yeah,
That
well,
starts
it takes
going.
me 3 days to
Yeah,
recover.
you'll know when you
now.
can't walk.
It does. It takes me 3 days to recover now. I walk like John Wayne for 3 days, and then I'm all right, and
Nice.
I'm play again.
That's
That's
just
prob-
from butt plugs,
I
isn't
would say
it?
that's probably cock that.
That's from tickling arsehole.
That's
Class.
prostate massage. All right. Jaso,
Um,
tell us and as listeners who you support and why.
For your sins.
Liverpool, yeah. My dad followed Liverpool from a young age, and the rest is history. I used to go to town games with my uncle, so I've not been to many town games for a fair few years now. But yeah, Liverpool. But we'll leave that there.
No, I don't think we can we? I don't think we can leave it there. It's a sports
Yeah.
podcast, mate. Come on. I
That's
think we've
it.
got
Tell
to
us.
we've got to open that bit up a bit, I think.
We have.
You know what? I am
100%.
so disappointed. Where do I start? I've put a few comments on, obviously, a few random posts that people have been putting up. And I think you can tell I'm a guy who wears me out on my sleeve. I just say it how it is. I've got no filter, and it gets me in trouble, but I don't give a shit. Centre backs. Joe Gomez is biggest fraud in football. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says.
I've seen you say that a few times.
Joe
Quick
Gomez.
question. No, go on.
Go on, let him finish.
Do you know what? At times, if I could beat him up, I would.
Imagine that on the sideline. Jay just fucking run up,
Grabbing him by the scruff of the neck. Will you fucking defend?
Jay, so I'm going to give you a quick fire question. Liverpool centre back alongside Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez or Harry Maguire?
Me.
Good answer. Great
He
answer.
played Cam at 6 and 7. Played in net.
Number- Number 10 at centre back, like prime William Gallas.
Yeah, I'd rather play with 10 men.
Fair enough, mate.
No,
Fair
no.
enough.
I'm assuming you were absolutely buzzing with that Napoli performance, and I can imagine you had a lovely evening that night.
Say that again, Cam.
That Napoli performance, I can imagine you had a lovely evening that night.
He's disgusting, mate. Who in
Offensive.
the right mind? Right? Do you know when you say to your kids, right? Let's just be honest. Someone's seen something in him and gone, yeah. Do you know what? You could be a pro footballer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, fair enough. But what's happened to Van Dijk this season? Because he's nowhere near the heights. Do you think that injury?
No.
I don't think he's ever recovered fully from that.
Can you really blame it on an injury, or
It just seems like he just seems to have lost a step, and it's like second guessing himself all the time.
I think you're right there. It's a bit of a second guess. Is in the past years, not many people got past him.
No, not at all.
I mean, look at his. You only have to look at his defending highlight reels, and more recently, the more people are getting past him. His positioning is out.
You think it's a confidence thing, then, Jay?
For me, yeah, also a confidence thing, but also how Jurgen Klopp's setting up, right? Because we're playing at such a high line, and we haven't got the midfield. It starts from that press. Liverpool, I think, would say started that high intensity pressing game of football, didn't they?
Klopp definitely brought it to England.
It to Premier League,
he brought it from Dortmund. You could see that.
Yeah. So where does that stem from? That stems from your attackers. Now, I've always said Roberto Firmino. Do you know what? He done you down. He's like an absolute engine, and it reminded me of Dirk Kuyt.
That's so funny you say that, because I've said something similar about Dirk Kuyt.
Dirk Kuyt. That's Roberto Firmino. So that started all the way from there. Your midfield is knackered. We're aged. We're old, and Jordan Henderson can't run and chase ball down like he used to do.
No.
Thiago's in his 30s. You've got Fabinho. Again, he's close to Joe Gomez level. He is at the minute.
Wow. I mean, you bought in Gakpo. I wouldn't have really thought that was a signing you particularly needed at the time.
Yeah, well, a priority, was it?
It's not a priority. And just going back to what you were saying there from Van Dijk's point of view, and it stems from your attackers to your midfield, that high line and the inconsistencies that Liverpool bring on themselves in terms of, Jurgen Klopp in his selection of players, inconsistent. You look at Chelsea when they went on their run. Look at Man City when now they've been on their run for a fair few years. Man United, you look at the two of the biggest centre-back pairings, Vidic, Ferdinand, John Terry, and who we've with. Do you know Arsenal back in the day, Tony Adams and Keown? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Liverpool, you don't know whether it's going to be Van Dijk and Joe Gomez, or whether it's Van Dijk and Matip, or one week and then it's...
What about Konate? Because he came in with what I thought was quite a lot of fanfare. A lot of people rated him.
Yeah, I like him as a young.
Do you think he's lived up to the height? Do you think he's doing as well as people probably expected, or?
I don't think he's been given the chance. He played in the World Cup final.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't think he's been that much of a chance.
I don't think he's been given the chance. I don't think the rotation system at Liverpool has not done Konate's name any good.
No. There's definitely a rotation going on. It seems to be who's ever. It's Van Dijk and whoever, and it just doesn't seem to be that. There's a 5-game stretch where it's got that solid partner with him. I mean, they had Matip, didn't they, last year, and they seem to have clicked. And them two just purely Matip's not the best defender in the world, but because they had that consistency alongside Van Dijk, it worked, and they looked really solid together.
Do you know when you've got a good spine or a team?
Yeah, you can build. It's pivotal.
You can build a team around a spine. Two good solid midfielders through your middle. Two absolute solid centre backs. A semi-decent keeper. Get a world-class keeper, you're going to win leagues. You're going to win. I always said that. Man United, through years, Peter Schmeichel in net and De Gea. Do you know when he was in form of his life for United? United started a Premier League season on plus 12, 15 points because they're a good, solid keeper.
Yeah. And you've definitely got that. I think you've got probably one of, if not the best keeper in the world. And I think just touching on Gakpo's sort of situation and what Sam mentioned earlier, and the sort of question I want to ask you is, do you think that money for Gakpo could have been better spent saving up for a potential, another centre midfielder? Because you touched on it there, Jay, just before. Yeah. You touched on it there where, you press from the front. And the reason that Liverpool were so successful in previous years is because they had that, that really active, workhorse of a midfield where if Trent went forward, one would cover. If Robertson went forward, one would cover. And Henderson, it specifically hasn't really got the engine for that anymore because he's aging. So would you have rather maybe not sign Gakpo and maybe saved a little bit of money for potentially the Bellingham transfer pot? Or how do you feel about that situation?
A little bit. I don't know. Do you know what? From an outside perspective, you could speak to anybody. From an outside perspective, we only get to see what's published in papers and things like that. Now, inside Liverpool's own grounds, Jurgen Klopp obviously knows something or could know something that we don't. So they've bought Gakpo for a reason. Yeah, I'd say is that there were a lot, or the centre mid or the midfield position was, in my eyes, a little bit more urgent than signing Gakpo. He's been signed for a reason. What's going off behind closed doors with Roberto Firmino end of the season? There's talk of him extending. There's talks of him not. I don't know what's going off with sale of Liverpool. I've read somewhere that they're only now selling a proportion of Liverpool to fund transfers. What does that do? I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? You look at, do we need him? No. But then again, look at Jota's on the sidelines. Luis Diaz is on sidelines. Salah's not really firing on all cylinders. Firmino's hit and miss. I mean, up until the point that he was out, he was our main man, weren't he?
He definitely was.
Yeah. I'll as much as it pains me to give Liverpool any kind of credit, you have been hit with quite a lot of injuries for players that would be either in that starting 11 or pushing. And you're right, but you mentioned the midfield and its aging, players like Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson, all in the 30s now, and who's next in line. One player that I just very quickly want to get your opinion on, Jay, is someone that's got a lot of minutes and a lot of time in that Liverpool lineup. And so far, I have seen absolutely nothing whatsoever, not even one moment, to suggest that he is at a level that's required to wear that badge. And that's Harvey Elliott. What's your thoughts on him as a long-term option in that Liverpool midfield?
I don't think you can say Harvey Elliott is a player that you can put on at the beginning of a game and go, right, he's going to go and win us a match. I think he's a player where you're coasting, you're 2-0 up, 3-0 up, 3-1, and you bring him on just to keep that intensity. Because
bit of energy and a bit of...
he's a fast little scuffer, isn't he? And but no, I don't think he is strong enough. Another one that hasn't had the same opportunities yet as Harvey Elliott, because he's not been there. That young lad Carvalho.
Yeah,
I think
he looks decent actually. What I've seen of him.
Yeah, he's different from Elliott in my opinion. He's looked decent when he's had the chance, but he's a bit more of a part of that front three, isn't he, as opposed to part of that midfield three.
I'd dare say and go as far as saying I'd send Carvalho out on loan to get more playing time under his belt, just to give him that bit of a boost, because again he's such a young kid. Harvey Elliott, could he go somewhere in Europe? I certainly wouldn't loan him to a Prem team, but I'd put him in a strong European side, Europa League, bottom end Champions League side again. Just
do you not think he'd do well something like a Villa, something like that?
I wouldn't loan him to a Prem side. I know obviously you can't play against your parent club, but it can still affect. He can still influence a game.
Can he?
That not all a player can still influence a game against a side that you're.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, when you're relying on results, he might affect.
Yeah, he's competing against, and he's a pro footballer. At the end of the day, he's going to do his job, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So no, I certainly wouldn't loan him to a Prem side.
That's some good insight there from a Liverpool fan in a season that has not lived up to the standards that the high standards that Liverpool have set over recent years. But Aggie, it's time, isn't it, mate? It's time to get into the main event.
Can I just ask one question?
Go for it, mate.
Just ask one question. Is there anybody that believes Liverpool can make top four?
No.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
City United, Arsenal, Newcastle in any order you want for me this season will finish top 4.
I think it could be close between Newcastle and Liverpool. I think maybe into running. I think Tottenham might drop off a bit more. I think Newcastle drop off just a little bit more, and I think United will finish third, City second, and Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win league, and I think Liverpool might just be knocking on door, but I don't think they'll. I think Newcastle just might have enough for.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think Jay said there. Can you see Liverpool finishing top 4? Yeah, absolutely, I can see it. They can go on a mad run and they can sneak in there most definitely. If you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say no, but can I see it? Yeah, I think with Klopp in charge, anything's possible. So fingers crossed for you, mate.
Fair.
Okay. No, fingers crossed, mate. I hope you get relegated.
Okay, let's move on to the locks and the wild cards. Jay,
let's have it.
You was asked to prepare a team that you are most confident in winning this weekend. Any game between Friday and Sunday evening, a goal scorer at any point, and a wild card, so an upset. So we'll start by asking you for your lock team. So the team you are most confident in getting a win this weekend.
Can't I choose Grassmore? Can't I choose Grassmore?
They're not in the allocated leagues, mate. Kent wants to go Dronfield every week, but we have to keep telling him no.
My lock of the week is Leyton Orient against Barrow.
Okay.
Nice, like it.
Break it down, mate. What's your reasoning?
Top at league. Barrow, I think, are just sitting it may be in the last spot of playoffs last time I was looking. Leyton Orient's own form is good. Yeah, that was what influenced what we're looking at, to be fair. Barrow away. But I think Leyton Orient.
Yeah, I think it's as good a pick as any, to be honest.
Solid pick.
Better than Forest, so we'll let you have it.
And you've not too much.
You've not took mine, so I'm happy.
Right, Ag. Who's going out Ruslock?
I have done a spinny wheel for this, and the first name out was...
motherfuckers.
Come on.
Sam.
Yeah! Come on. Right, okay.
You dare. I'll kill you.
I don't think it will be, but I'm going my lock of the week. I'm going Burnley at home against Coventry.
Oh, that's mine. That's mine.
You fucking...
Have we all gone it?
Said, I don't think so. And then everyone went
We've all gone it.
Oh, shit, okay.
Fucking prick.
Burnley, first in the league, at home against 14th place Coventry. Coventry are just an absolute free fall at minute.
Can I just make a comment on Coventry, by the way? Ever since you said they were doing all right, they've been fucking dog shit.
Free fall. The curse
Before they
is
played United,
real.
I said, "Oh, we'll beat them," and Sam were like, "Oh no, they've done all right this season."
I had them as my wild card that weekend.
And now they look at them now. You fucking bastard. Carry
He's
on.
a fucking knobhead, isn't he?
Yeah, no, that's pretty
No, he's backed
self-explanatory.
against him.
Self-explanatory by the reaction I've had from these players, so that's exactly why I'm backing them.
Sam, Burnley are in good form at the minute. But obviously Coventry having that pumping from Wrexham. Do you not think that they're now going to go out and try and prove something, though?
No, I think that pumping from Wrexham, I think that just epitomises where they are at the minute. I think they're a bit of a mess. Burnley, like you say, absolutely flying. I just can't see past them at all. So, yeah, I'm quite confident with my number one pick there, my lock.
Okay.
It's just my luck. I'll have them on my accumulator and Coventry will win.
Can't believe he's got first and he's took Burnley. So that's probably the biggest impact the Whalers had. Where
I think so.
Yeah, we've all gone for it, haven't we? Everyone has got
that
Burnley.
Was everyone's first choice.
Was that you as well, Ag?
Yeah, that was my first choice.
I'm absolutely chuffed with that one.
Lucky fucking prick.
This is why we go for a backup. So second on the wheel was Mr. Kemp.
Yeah!
Oh my God.
Get in there. So my first choice was obviously Burnley. My second choice is Exeter. Forest Green Rovers have lost their last 4. They're in very poor form. I think they're 23rd at the minute. League One, I think, for a club like Forest Green, no disrespect, but I think it's just a little bit big for them. And Exeter are going well recently. 2 wins on the spin. So yeah, I'm going Exeter to beat Forest Green Rovers.
Fair enough.
Okay.
The fact that Aggie has been last on the wheel so many times is making me feel sick, because it's likely that I'm last now and I need to very quickly get a backup for my backup, and he's about to take my second pick.
You know what? It's funny you should say that.
Oh no!
Because I was next off the wheel, so it's me.
Fuck! Please don't pick mine.
And I'm going as my
Please.
backup,
Please.
Stevenage away
Yes!
against Harrogate.
I'm
Now,
fine.
I know you
Why
don't
have you
like.
gone
I'm
away
No.
again?
I know you don't
Are you
like the
fucking
away games.
serious?
No, yeah. No, I'm 100% serious. So I know you don't like me going for the away teams, but they beat Aston Villa the other day. Harrogate are
They did.
19th at the moment in League Two. Stevenage are second. The High Flyers, they're in very good form. Harrogate are struggling at the bottom of the Football League. So even though they're away from home, I think Stevenage are going to be too good.
I
Pray
think
for your
both players
sake it
are still
comes
going to
in.
be pissed up after Villa game.
And
I
my
can't
first
wait
choice
for
was
the
a home
fucking
game,
clip
so-
next week of us rinsing him in Monday's review show when he's fucked up picking an away game again. But Aggie, I'm gonna go easy on you because you've not taken my backup, so I'm happy with that.
You go for it.
Are we ready? So,
Yeah, go for it.
I wanted Burnley. I really wanted Burnley. I'm down to the last two in the last man standing that I'm doing, and Burnley will be my pick this week. But my backup this week is Upham, the Blades, Sheffield
Yeah,
United to
right.
beat
Here
Stoke.
we go.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
right.
won 2, 4, 6 out of the last 7 games, drawing the other game. They've only lost 1 out of the last 10, 11 games. Stoke, to be fair to them, are in half decent form, but Sheffield United at home at Bramall Lane should have enough to see it through. So Sheffield United are my lock of the week.
You say Stoke are in off decent form. They've won 1 in the last 4, and that was 4 games ago. So they're not that good.
Yeah, they won in Cup, didn't they? But I mean, it's Hartlepool.
Yeah, that's
so-
what I mean. Yeah, they won the last
Yeah,
game, but yeah, not in the league. So yeah, I'll take Sheffield United, but on the record, I really, really, really fucking wanted Burnley.
You watch
But
that.
if-
But Burnley definitely aren't winning now, right?
Same.
Mate, I was just about to say, but Sam's picked them, so that gives me hope they're not going to win this week. which
Yeah, and
also
Hey,
makes
hopefully
me feel
Blades,
sick.
Blades can
Hey,
win and catch
hey,
up on
hey.
at some point.
Hey, I'll have you fucking know. Who was the only one to get all their picks right last week?
Yeah, we're not going to live that down until somebody else
You
manages
never ever
it
gonna
now.
live that down.
Okay, so
No.
go on, mate. You were going to say something then.
I hope I'm wrong, but just to make you aware, is that Stoke have beat Sheffield United on the last 2 games.
Fuck 'em, mate. I never go head to head because that's
We
probably
didn't have-
2018 and 2008 or something. So
we
fuck
didn't
'em.
No, twice
Did-
last year, my friend.
Yeah,
Fuck 'em.
we didn't have Ellerman and Jai firing on all cylinders then. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Right, scorers.
Yeah, Jay, your lock scorer for the week.
I think I might have taken somebody's here.
Go on.
Chuba Akpom.
Oh, he has it all. He fucking
Not
has
took
it all.
mine.
You're a
Not
fucking
mine.
prick. It was my fucking. Easy. I've not even got a backup because I was so confident.
Mate, it
no
was
one
mine.
was
It
gonna-
was my first choice as well.
Jay is fucking shit up in this. I've not even
Say,
got a
Jay,
backup.
you ain't coming back on.
And I've just realised I'm first because I was last, so I need to be fucking quick while
Yes.
Jay breaks it down.
Go on, Jay.
He's scored 5 in his last 3 games, hasn't he? 4 games, sorry.
Yeah, it's
You don't
flying.
need to tell us, lad. We all had him.
It's flying, mate. 13 and 19.
Yeah. Knows where net is.
He does. It's a good pick. Like I say, 2 of us have had it, so can't be
What
bad.
to Darwin Núñez.
Stop the fuck. I don't think they'd take him. Is that Dawson next then?
It is Dawson next year.
Come on.
I'm fucking
on.
panicking. I tell you what, if
No, I'm
Darwin
panicking.
Núñez, if Darwin Núñez could bag his chances, he'd be on about twice as
fucking
many
hell.
goals as Erling Haaland was. The amount of chances he gets. I'll be honest, I'm just talking shit, not just because I've had a cam, but because
You better
I'm
not just
struggling to
fucking.
get a pick.
If you just land on mine, back up. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
if you
fucking
take my
live in
first
here.
one now.
What a fucking chance. I should have. I thought no one's going to pick him, and I fucked up big time. So I am going to go for, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to put my name to his name, and
Do
I'm
it.
going to go Darwin Núñez to
Oh
score
my
away at
God.
Brighton.
He's
3
had a
o'clock
can, hasn't he?
kickoff.
He's fucking bladdered.
He's gone rogue.
Tell you what, I rate Darwin Núñez purely for his work rate. You cannot question it. Yes, he has missed.
No one's questioned. No one near has questioned his work rate, mate. The question is finishing,
Yeah, his finishing has
which is
been
what a
poor.
scorer is.
But I did mention on last week's preview show that I did fancy him to get a goal against Wolves, which he did do. So let's
Okay.
start fucking converting the chances that he's getting. He's getting a lot every single game. So I'll go Darwin against
He's
Brighton.
just
You know
been
what? Go on, Jay.
I think he's just been given a lifetime subscription, hasn't he, at Specsavers?
I'm
You
very
claim it back,
surprised
mate,
there,
it's all right.
Dawson. I really thought when you were scrambling, I thought you'd jump onto Rashford there. I thought you'd have gone onto
Yeah,
Rashford.
City
I
though,
quite
innit?
fancy him at Manchester Derby, to be honest.
I was worried you were going to take mine. As I'm up next, I'm going to tell you I'm going for Harry Kane.
Oh,
He
it's
scored
always a safe bet.
He scored 8 goals in his last 10 appearances against Arsenal, and he hasn't gone a full season without scoring against Arsenal since the 2013-14 season.
Oh, I love that start. Love that.
So,
Big stat from you, Aggie. Journo.
so I'm going to back Harry Kane to
check
score,
Journo.
and it's a home game, so you'll all be happy with that, against Arsenal.
Go on, Kemp, you're up, mate.
Yeah, so I'm going to follow the Sam recipe
No,
in the sense of choosing my scorer, playing for the same team as I've chosen my lock.
Oh, okay.
So Sam Nom, who is the striker for Exeter, he's going really well, and so are Exeter, as I mentioned. He's the third top scorer in the league. He's got 11 goals so far this season, and Forest Green have conceded 5 goals in their last 2 games. So I'm going with Sam Nom.
Why bloody not? Is that me next?
It is.
So I've gone Ross Stewart for Sunderland against Swansea.
Oh, great pick.
Thank you very much. He's got 9 goals in 11 games, and he's actually got, a little tidbit for you here, he's actually got the best goal per minute ratio in the Championship this season.
Yeah.
He's only played 11 games, but he's scored 9 goals. So, yeah, Ross Stewart is my pick for Sunderland.
But just obviously, I got the opportunity to go to the playoff final at Wembley against Wickham, and he was absolutely brilliant. And in that game, while I was watching it, I thought he'd do well this season. And you're absolutely right there with what you said there, Sam, about goals per minute. He's had quite a few injuries, and he came back, and he missed about 7-8 games, and within about 6 minutes of being back on the pitch, he'd scored. So yeah, I can see him getting obviously a top Premier League team, but I think we'll see him in the Premier League sooner rather than later. So for me, that's a great pick.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So Jay, on to the wild card. Big upset that you're expecting this weekend.
I think I could have somebody upset here as well.
Oh dear.
Go fuck yourself in advance.
I hope you don't pick mine on.
I am going to go with Blackpool away at Watford.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
That is a wild card, by the way.
Mate, I'll be honest. I considered them for mine, so I'll give Jay this. But Jay, break down why you've gone for them.
Watford have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Blackpool have just pumped Forest 4-1 in FA Cup.
Yeah.
Only lost 1 in their last 5, and that was 2-1 to Sheffield. I think that was other Friday between Christmas and New Year. And I think Blackpool might have something there to spoil Watford.
No,
Why bloody
I like
not?
that pick. I like that pick.
Not? It's me next, isn't it?
It is Sam, yes. Over to you
I'm
for your wild
again.
card.
And I can tell you now, my pick is gone.
I
by the
reckon
time it
mine's
gets
gone
to
at
me.
some
So
point.
my pick is Manchester United
Oh, there
to
it is.
beat Manchester
You're a prick.
City
That's mine.
at Old Trafford in the
You're a
Manchester
prick.
derby.
Break it down, mate.
Just a brief breakdown, obviously, to justify it. Firstly, United at home are 16-5 with the bookies, and City are odds on at 17-20. So
Doesn't happen often, does it?
Does not happen often, and you just think the forms City aren't playing good football at the minute. Obviously, they lost last night to Southampton. They played terrible. Southampton were brilliant.
Mate, they put a good side out as well. Let's put that on the record.
A pretty strong side. Before then, they drew at home to Everton. They've lost to Brentford. This seems to be. I know they've just battered Chelsea back to back, but let's be fair, that's not looking like a hard task at the minute. I just think this seems to be their mid-season blip, and I think United are going to hit them right at the good time. United are on the up, and I really fancy United to beat City, and I've just realised that I'm at a fucking spa day for that, so I won't even be able to watch it.
12 kickoff, mate. Go fuck yourself. You deserve it for taking my pick yet again.
Yeah, mine's gone as well. Kemp, did you have that as well?
No, I didn't, mate. Actually, to be fair, I didn't. I'm sort of hoping and praying that City prove me right and go on and win the title. So I don't want to be picking against them where I can avoid it.
They can drop 3 points in one game, mate. Come on.
Yeah, but if Arsenal win and City lose, then it's not looking good.
Oh, pure scarce then, that one.
There you go, it was like that Gerrard F1 meme where it's like,
Because Jay's here, I thought I'd just, a bit of
inclusive.
Catch it.
That's it. So I've gone with Nottingham Forest.
You
my God.
dirty scab.
Yeah, I know, innit? So
break it
Forest,
down.
They're unbeaten in 6 at home, surprisingly.
At home, yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
no, they were away last
Leicester.
weekend,
Yeah,
weren't
they
they?
got Leicester,
yeah. And Leicester, unfortunately, have lost 3 on the spin in the league. James Maddison's still out, which is a big miss, and they've got a a fair injury list of Leicester at the moment, and they're not in the best form. Their season picked up a little bit, but then it seems to have gone down the shitter a little bit in the last few weeks. Sorry. So yeah, I've gone for my wild card, Nottingham Forest to beat Leicester.
Would you say that's your classic 6-pointer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely so. And like I say,
Both on 17 points.
they're going to be up for it. They're going to be right up for it. I'm surprised that Forest are sort of underdogs for that one, but hey, they were when I checked, and that's all I'm going to go on. So yeah, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Forest 17-10, Leicester 13-8. So not much in it really.
It qualifies for the wild card, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
That's fair. My first one was for United to beat City, so I'm going to have to go for my backup. And Jay, I am going to apologise, but I've got Brighton to beat Liverpool.
That was my backup. I must admit.
Jay, so what do you reckon to that?
Well, you're going to ask me what score predictions are soon, so I'll wait until...
Save it.
He's agreeing with me.
He's listened before, and go on, Aggie, break it down, mate.
There's only a point separating the two sides. Liverpool aren't the Liverpool, like we've already discussed, that we know of, that have been performing so well over the last couple of years. Brighton, I thought that when Potter left to Chelsea, it was going to be a bit of a downward spiral for Brighton, but it shows that the players are still performing quite well. They're still competing, and they've still got a chance to get into Europe, and they've performed so well against some of the big sides. Obviously, they've taken the game to Arsenal, to Man City, to United, and of course to Liverpool in the past as well. So I think this Brighton side's going to be up for it and going to be ready to cause an upset.
Fair enough. I like it.
Get fucked.
Me up, yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my backup is still in play, and I'm going to take Morecambe to win away at Cambridge United in League One. Now, Morecambe have they've not won an away game in 12 games, and they've lost 10 of those. So on paper, you're probably thinking, why the fuck have I gone for that? But Cambridge United have lost their last 3. Morecambe have won their last 3. And I was really, I had everything on United being my my wild card pick, but obviously they've been taken. But they both sit on 24 points after 25 games. And like I said, Morecambe have won the last 3. Cambridge have lost the last 3. So I think at some point Morecambe are going to win an away game after their absolutely torrid form. So I'm going to put my name to this one being the one. So yeah, Morecambe away at Cambridge United is my wild card this week.
Okay, that concludes the locks and the wild cards for football, but there are still 3 other games to go through, Skin.
Yes, Jay. So as you know, as part of this listener lock-in, we are running a competition. They're giving you the potential at 6 points. Now, Carrowing kicked us off last week and got what is known as the Kemp, and that is 1 point out of an available 6. So
got
far
2 last week, dickhead.
PB, big time. So far, you've gone for Leyton Orient as your lock, Akpom as your scorer, and Blackpool as your wild card. I'm going to give you 3 games now, mate. I would like you to provide your score prediction for those 3 games and hopefully put yourself in first place as it stands as we go through the rest of the season. So, as you've already mentioned yourself, the first game that we're going to present to you is Brighton versus Liverpool. What is your score prediction?
So I don't know if you guys know this, but what Jurgen Klopp does with Liverpool, when they play away, they take a few crates of beers on team bus.
Didn't know that. Are you taking the piss?
No, genuine.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
Okay, break it down.
If Liverpool win away, he allows the players to have a few beers.
I like it.
And unfortunately, them beers are not going to get cracked again this weekend.
Oh my God, here we go. He's back in the wild card. Go on.
I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Nice. 2-2 draw for a potential point. What's your reasoning there? Just away from home, Brighton in a little bit of form.
Just Liverpool away from home. Horrible. They just don't give me much confidence at all. I mean, my brother rang me up when we played Brentford 3-1, and he was like, they're going to pump us. I was like, shut up.
Wish you'd pump me.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, just Liverpool away.
2-2.
Brighton are in good form. They've got a semi-decent atmosphere at their ground. They're going to make it difficult, aren't they? Whether it's at Anfield or what, they're going to do the best to try and make it difficult for us. But I think they've got enough to certainly take a point.
Well, I don't want to speak for the rest of the lads, but I hope they agree. But I appreciate you putting your bias aside for the purpose of the listener locking competition by going 2-2. So your second game, mate, is the aforementioned early kickoff on Saturday. Manchester United versus Manchester City. What is your score prediction there?
3-1 City.
Motherfucker! I thought you were about to drop it.
Cut through. He come back United there, could he? Let's be fair.
Confident with a pretty comfortable City win there, yeah.
What made me go is Man City lost last night, obviously 2-0. Southampton, Chelsea, they won comfortably in FA Cup, but again in League City, I think it was Sam, you mentioned it just, or was it Kem, that City just seemed to be dropping off a bit, but during that Manchester derby, they tend to turn it on, don't they? I think they've scored 8-9 goals or something in the last 2 games.
Yeah, something like
it was 6-3, weren't it, in the return fixture earlier in the season?
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's a 3-1 win City, that for me.
Fair enough, mate. And the last game for your listener locking predictions, we move to Sunday, and it is the North London derby, Tottenham Hotspur versus Arsenal. It's a massive game, mate. What score are you putting your name to there?
2-1 Arsenal.
Ooh, okay. Break that one down.
I think I fancy them as well.
Arsenal are just in form of their lives, aren't they? I think that key word is momentum. And they just seem to be doing all the right things. Arteta is a flamboyant one, isn't he? On sidelines, and he gets some
a flamboyant one. That's probably the most old school term we've had on this podcast. 21 episodes.
Yeah.
He gets say something because we've got Agazar contributor. So he lives in 1930s. So
traditional is the word.
Is an irate one, and I just think he's just going to get them pumped up. If obviously Liverpool don't win the league this season, which we're not going to do, I want Arsenal to do it.
Okay,
I really do want Arsenal to do it.
We, as you know, Joe, you listen to pretty much every episode, and we've had a lot of conversations. But just for the record, so you can put it out there, you know your house and everything is on the line right now. Who are you backing to win the title, assuming City or Arsenal?
My house.
So he's panicking.
Do you know what? If you were asking me this, if I was on the show 3-4 weeks down the line, having known obviously what the results were with Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal City, Arsenal, Man United, I think it'd be a bit easier. But those games not being played
right now, who's your money on? Because we have got an even split on the Loaded Sports show right now. So right now, commit, be the deciding vote.
City.
Oh, okay. So Kerwin kicked us off.
And Shafi goes wild.
Shafi goes wild.
Shafi loves it.
Have him on the show to hear his thoughts, especially with the point of the season that he'll be on. So Jay, yes, Kerwin set a very high bar of 1 point for you to beat. And what you're going to attempt to beat him with this week is Leyton Orient as your lock, at Palmer as your scorer, Blackpool as your wild card, Liverpool and Brighton to fight out a 2-2 draw, Manchester City to go to Old Trafford and win 3-1, and Arsenal to win 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We will sit through and review those predictions on Monday's review show or Tuesday's release. And, mate, I'll be honest, if you don't get more than one, you've had a bit of a shocker. But mate, I'll speak for everyone and tell me again if anyone disagrees. But it's been a pleasure having you on, hearing your thoughts.
Absolutely,
that's been good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
good.
I'm glad, mate. Your very honest thoughts on Liverpool's season so far. But we'll close off with this question, like we're going to close off with every guest that we have on from now till the rest of the season. But who is your sporting hero and why?
Steven Gerrard. I drink his bathwater.
Happy days. We'll be back shortly to review what is the best, or preview what is the best weekend of the year, which is Wildcard Weekend.
Welcome back to episode 21 of Loaded Sport. We are now going to start previewing what Dawson claims is the greatest weekend in the NFL calendar.
Whoa. Rewind. There's no fucking claim, and it is not of the NFL calendar. It is the best weekend of the year.
Would you say it's
End
better
of.
than Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yeah,
Super Bowl
100%.
Sunday is the best Sunday of the year. Wildcard weekend
Okay.
is the best weekend of the year. Tell you this
Correct.
every fucking year. Thank
you
you,
do,
Sam.
You do, and I'll keep on getting it wrong. That's
Not
it.
like you, that Jano.
No. I'm normally very accurate with it all, aren't I? Very accurate. Fuck off,
21
right.
episodes into Loaded Sport, and that is the most passive-aggressive comment so far.
Right, let's kick things off with the locks, but we're going to do them a bit differently with it being wildcard weekend and only a few games to pick from.
Yeah,
It
slim
means
pickings.
it doesn't really matter if you're picking somebody else's; they can also pick it. That's absolutely fine.
It's all love in the NFL for the rest of the season, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
Right, but I did do the wheel anyway, and the first name up was Kemp.
you fucking
Ooh.
prick.
It
What's
doesn't
up with
matter.
you guys? It came natural. I'm
Bless
sorry,
you.
it fell out.
Okay, so I did prepare backups anyway.
Yeah, I did. I don't know why.
I don't know why I did
Love
that,
that.
but I did. And now the problem I've got is that I can't choose.
Can I guess which one it is? Because I think mine are going to be safe.
Go on then.
Is it Bills at night?
Yeah.
Can we just all put our hands up if we all got that as safe?
I've got Bills,
what?
yeah.
As your locks and backup.
Right.
Well,
I'm gonna-
spoilers.
Right, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with what my first choice was, and that was the 49ers.
Nice.
The Seahawks have squeaked their way into the playoffs, to say the least. And the Niners have looked, let's be honest, pretty unstoppable these last few weeks. I think the Seahawks, and I'll get onto this later on, but their run defense is third worst in the league. And as we know, the 49ers run at the minute is nothing to be
They're
sniffed
coming
at,
up against
so-
that Stanford boy, aren't they?
Oh, so yes,
Aggie.
49ers are my lock.
Yes.
Aggie, go fuck yourself. I'm going to wear my CMC number 5 Stanford shirt when they're
Like
playing
it.
Saturday night.
Like
You
it.
I've
fucking
got it.
won.
It's in
You
my
ain't going to
drawer,
be
mate.
with me. Ain't going to bother me.
Is, mate. I'll send you pictures of me fucking masturbating in nothing but that CMC shirt.
Who's next, Aggie?
It's me. I'm next.
Go on.
And I heard what you've just said about the Bills, so I'm going to go to my backup, which is the Bengals to beat the Ravens.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
It seems like at the moment Lamar's out. Lamar is also
Yeah, I
set
think
to
he's pretty
potentially
much-
be
yeah.
on his way
Yeah.
out from Baltimore altogether. So for me, I think it's a foregone conclusion that the Bengals are going to walk all over the Ravens.
Yeah,
I
fair.
think just before we move on to the next one, Sam, you had a bit of an opinion on Lamar being out and what sort of position that puts the Ravens in the playoffs. So I suppose it's a good time to cover that.
Yeah, I suppose it is as good as any. I just think if he's after this much of a contract, you've got to be there on one leg, haven't you? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to, be so biased and keep going about Green Bay when we're completely irrelevant at this point in the season. But you look back in years past when Rodgers and that, he's happily played on one leg. He's of course earning so much money, but he will play when he essentially can't walk. And I think when you want to get paid that amount of money, you should be expected to, grin and bear it and put it all on the line.
You've got to be
all-
a fucking warrior, haven't
You
you?
have.
You've got to show your
It's the
team that
NFL
you'll
at the end of the
fucking do
day.
it.
Yeah, it's a man's sport, and I think you've got all off season to recover. Is it not the second year in a row? By the way, he's missed the end of the season. Did he not?
I
did
think
the
he
Ravens
missed
not?
it last year as well, yeah.
Yeah, so this can't help his contract negotiations.
And also, just to very quickly add on to that, when they have made the playoffs, that's always been our joke in our group of friends. Like obviously, Liam is a Ravens fan about Lamar fumbling and all that kind of stuff. So when they've got to the playoffs, either A, he's been one of the main reasons why they've not got further, or he's just not been there in the first place.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was my opinion. I just think it's not helping his contract. It should be out there. The Ravens themselves have said they're actually upset at how long it's taken him to recover from this injury. It's gone on longer than they normally say. Oh, Lamar's out for 4 weeks or whatever. It's actually about 6 weeks now. So it's longer than what they first anticipated, which they are quite disappointed in. And I don't think it's going to help his contract negotiations. It's just not very durable, is he?
I think what ain't going to help him in that game as well is the fact that the last couple of days Tyler Huntley has also been listed as questionable on the report, so they might not even have the backup quarterback for that game. So probably strengthens my argument.
Brett Hundley, isn't he? I think, is it Brett Hundley?
Yo, man.
Not sure. But yeah, it probably strengthens why the Bengals are going to beat the Ravens.
Matchup against the informed Bengals, isn't it?
No.
Nope. Right, next up, Skin.
Yes, mate. Well, look, the wheel isn't as important as it has been, especially in the football section, with us being able to pick the same as other people. But my lock of the week has to be the Niners at home to Seahawks. Seahawks, in all fairness to them, have won their last 2 games to make the playoffs. They beat the Jets comfortably. They beat the Rams after overtime in what was a very, very good game. But Niners are the informed team. They've won 10 in a row. Brock Purdy is ranking first in a lot of very, very major stats that you want from your quarterback. So, yeah, it's got to be the Niners as lock of the weekend for me. I'm really sorry, Aggie.
No, mate, it's fine. It's no problem. Sam?
So, yeah, for the purpose of being a bit different, I'm going to change and I'm going to go to the Bills to beat the Dolphins at home. I think, as I say, Tua is out. And Teddy Bridgewater doesn't look like he's ready in time. So they've got the rookie Skylar Thompson, who's going to come in. He was the quarterback drafted before Brock Purdy. So Brock Purdy was the very last player drafted. But then the second to last quarterback that was drafted was Skylar Thompson, and obviously he's not played any games at all. So he's not going to be ready. I don't think he's got to go into Buffalo. Buffalo at the minute, obviously after Damar Hamlin. They've got a little bit of something about them, I think, and there's going to be a lot of emotion in Orchard Park, and I think the Bills are going to absolutely steamroll them here, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So Sam will stick with you for the scorer.
Okay. So I've gone backwards and forwards on this, and I think I am going to go for Gabe Davis against the Dolphins.
Okay, interesting. Now, I'll just very quickly put my input in before breaking it down, if you don't mind, because I drafted Davis as one of my first wide receivers in fantasy this year, expecting him to do really, really well. As a lot of people do, I'm not going to say, I saw something in him. A lot of people were predicting him to have a bit of more of a breakout season after that performance against Chiefs in the playoffs last season. But he's been very hit and miss. He is literally, probably the most on or off player of the season. He is either really, really on or he does next to nothing. So what do you see in Davis with that matchup with the Dolphins that's made you go for him as your scorer this weekend?
I just think the Bills are going to have plenty of the ball. I think there's going to be a shitload of Bills offense. I think with the QB situation in Miami, I just think they're not going to pick up many first downs. So I just think the more offense, the more the ball's in Josh Allen's hand, I just think he's going to spread it out evenly amongst his receiving core, and I think he's going to get one. And as I say, last year in the playoffs, it was spectacular, and I think
it was unbelievable.
I'm going to back him again to kickstart his form again in the playoffs.
You've charmed me.
Thank you.
Skin, who's yours?
Am I up next? Am I?
You are, yeah.
Oh, bless you. I'm going to have to go for the man that's been mentioned already, CMC. He's my first pick. We don't have to change it, but he's not been mentioned already. But yeah, CMC, such a threat on the ground, which I'm sure you'll agree, Aggie. Seahawks have not been great against the run this season. He's such a threat in that play action, in the passing game, absolutely everything. If CMC is fully fit, he is, for me, the most well-rounded threat on the offensive side of the ball, and since he joined the Niners, he has been fully fit, and what a trade they made, by the way. One of the main opinions we had at the time was it was a great trade if he could stay fit, and he has done that so far, and he has complemented their scheme so brilliantly well. So yeah, I've got to go CMC as a leading light and a leading force as to the reason why Niners beat Seahawks this weekend.
Yeah. It is me next, and I did have CMC as my first, but I'm going to go to my backup anyway.
Oh, bless you.
I am going to go with Austin Ekeler.
Yes.
I think
he was mine backup.
The majority of the Chargers' offense this season has ran through Austin Ekeler, and against the Jags, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game between the two. I think they're just going to be trading points, to be fair, and I think it's a given that Austin Ekeler is going to get on the score sheet against them. So I'm standing by Eckler. Kemp?
I thought about doing what you've just done. I thought about going with my backup because Dawson had gone with my first one. But
Of course it is,
I'm
mate.
not
You
as-
love picking a Niners
but
player
I'm
for
not,
you.
but I'm not as generous as you, Adam. So I'm going to go with CMC. As Dawson mentioned, I don't really need to go into this very much, but yeah, run defense by the Seahawks is the third worst in the league, I believe. And as Dawson's mentioned, CMC's so dangerous in receiving.
He's a quarterback's
rushing.
best friend.
He's
Oh, mate,
dangerous.
it's
He's
fucking
dangerous
unbelievable.
passing. He's dangerous everywhere. So he's not just a dual threat, but a triple threat at Benwell's Grove. So yeah, CMC.
That's brilliant.
Out of
He's-
interest, who was your backup?
Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Adoree Jackson, who's been the Giants' best corner this season, he's injured. We're obviously going to struggle to cover a player like Justin Jefferson. I can see him scoring a touchdown or two, but I've like I say, I'm not as generous as you, Ag. So I'm going to play it safe and go with CMC.
Okay, well, we're going to stick by you to go for the wild card then.
My wild card this wild card weekend is for the New York Football Giants.
I weren't
Minnesota
sure if
Vikings,
you dared put your
baby.
name to it.
Baby,
Let's
I'm
go.
all
mate.
in.
Give us
It's
the
the
full
most
breakdown.
obvious. It's the most obvious wildcard choice. To be fair, I think it's if not the one of the closest games this weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's obviously the one I'm most passionate about. We've proved this season that we can get the offense rolling, that we can beat good teams. Green Bay, for example. Sorry, Sam. You weren't too bad when we played you. Sort of going into that game.
Stop bringing that fucking game up.
London, yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
And the Ravens as well. Just to name a couple. We've rested some players against the Eagles, so we should be pretty fresh. Minnesota are a good team. They're not a great team, I don't think, at the minute, but they're a good team. And I think New York, like Dawson, you say, any given Sunday, and with Coach Dayball at the helm, let's go Big Blue.
Why not?
Okay. It is me up next, and when I came towards looking for these games and what the wild cards really could be, I really struggled to find one that stood out for me. And then Kemp, you told me about you putting a bet on the Giants to win the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So I thought I'd have a look, and the odds shown that we were 80-1 to win the Super Bowl.
Fuck off.
And I thought, I'm selling out. I'm going for the Seahawks to beat the Niners.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
That's a brilliant. I love that. I've got so much
before
thought.
Aggie breaks down why he's gone for that as his wild card, can we just appreciate the brilliant lead into that pick there?
Yeah, he's completely threw us off. It's David Dunn reversed past that.
He's fucking David Dunn gone for Ramona tripped over himself.
He's hid his eyes and everything.
He has tripped over himself as well.
I'll tell you what,
reference.
he's the complete opposite of Mudge there, where he's given us eyes and gone somewhere else.
Yeah. The eyes, Chico, they always lie.
They always
Come on,
lie. But
Aggie, tell us why.
My reasoning
never
for
thought I'd
that
see
is
the day.
literally I've put two words, and that is go Hawks. Everyone has
That's
written
it.
us off all season. Nobody
you are.
expected us to be in the playoffs. Any given
Aggie.
Sunday, why fucking
Yeah.
not?
That's it. I was just about to say, I'll take your two words and I'll raise you three, and that is any given Sunday.
There you go. Skin, over to you.
I'm about to fuck my own shit up, lads, because I had, despite the fact that we can go for whoever we want and not have to worry if someone's picked them,
Yeah.
I had a backup ready, and I fucked off my first choice, and I fucked off my backup.
Okay.
At the very last minute when Kemp was talking about his, I've taken a team that I did not have written down in my notes. So before I get into it, I did have the New York Football Giants as my first pick.
Baby.
I then had what for me is the hardest game to pick from this weekend, and I took the Jacksonville Jaguars as my second pick. But in what is potentially my last ever chance and opportunity to back my boy,
No,
my
for
hero,
fuck's sake.
the man that is tattooed on my leg, the man
Wrong jersey.
that I named my son after, I am going to take this opportunity to back the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Oh shit! I can't. Shit! I can't. The Monday Night Football.
Oh my God!
Oh, I
You
can't do
fucking
it.
nonce.
After
can't
all
do it.
that,
After all that sell there, I can't even do it. So I'm gonna have to backtrack.
now.
And I'll. You know what? I want to pack the Giants, mate. I really, really do, and I want to give you that hope. But I'll go Jacksonville as my
you're
plan.
such
I
a
can't-
fucking cunt.
Oh no, sorry, but mate, it don't matter. But I'm fuming.
Yeah,
I
it don't
couldn't take the
matter. It
Bucks.
don't matter. But you fucking skated over half the fucking playoff picture there, and you finally landed on mine. So thanks
I
for
really
that.
wanted to back the Ravens. I really want.
Yeah, exactly. May as well have gone through the fucking lot. You just did. Yeah, I'm going for Jacksonville. They were my number one. I ain't fucked about. I did think about the Giants for a second, and I thought every man and his dog's backing these Giants as an underdog this weekend. I just think the reason why I haven't is because I think if it was at Giants, I would have 100%. But I think indoor, I just think there's no adverse conditions for them, by the fact that it's a 9:30 game and Kirk Cousins seems to wilt at that time clock. But no, I don't fancy the Giants. I think the Vikings offense is going to be a bit too explosive for them and not going to be able to catch up. So for that reason, I am going for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really close game. Contrary to what Adam said about it going toe-to-toe as a high scorer, I think it's going to be really low. And I think the Jags defense is going to bolt up, like the pun, playing the bolts.
I get
Wake
that. Good one.
I get like it. Yeah. I like it.
So yeah, I'm going for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. That's the locks and the wild cards all covered for wild card weekend. So we'll do a quick fire of the games. Just let us know the results. Are we going for the scores? Do you want to go for the scores, or are we just going to go for who's
Just
going to win?
Team by so many points.
Team by so many points. Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
start with the one that takes place at 9:30 GMT. The Niners against the Seahawks. Skin, we'll start with you.
Okay, I'm going to go Niners by 20.
Fuck it.
Right. Sam?
The spread is plus 9.5 to be fair. I'm going to say Niners by 14.
Kemp? Nice one.
Niners by
brother.
10.
Niners by 10. Okay. I'm going to stand by the Seahawks. I'm going to say by 3. It's going to be a field goal at the end that wins it for us. That's
Oh,
it.
that close, mate. You don't need that heartbreak in your life,
Mate,
surely.
100%. If his pick is to come in, it will definitely be a close game.
Yeah.
The Seahawks are not blowing the
Oh,
Niners out.
Yeah, definitely. But
Okay.
it's tough. Isn't it?
Next game up, the Jaguars against the Chargers. Kemp, we'll start with you this time.
Jags by 3.
Sam?
Jags by 1.
Ooh. Skin?
Oh. Mate, this, as I mentioned, for me is the toughest game to predict over the weekend. But I've got to stick with Jags as they're my wild card, and I will go by a touchdown. Justin Herbert as a bold prediction, throwing a very, very late interception to seal the game for Jags.
Okay. I'm sticking by the Chargers. I've gone with Austin Eckler for a touchdown, but I think they're going to win it by.
Sorry, I'm just cutting you out there. It says everything Dawson's saying it was a close game, he couldn't call it, and it's actually split loaded sport. 50-50.
Wish you'd split me.
Not again.
Nice. Okay, moving on to a couple of people's locks. We've got the Bills against the Dolphins. We'll start with Skin.
I think
Anybody?
Sam should. I know it's quick fire, but Sam, you had some thoughts on the Dolphins lineup. You mentioned there, so I think it's good for you to start because this,
all right.
as much as we've not one of us has picked this as a lock in Aggie, but
No, it might me.
I didn't. I picked Bengals.
oh, sorry,
Telling
Sam.
me. It makes
This is-
even more sense to come to me. I get what you're saying.
It's
yeah.
probably the most surefire result of the weekend, really. But I suppose
so.
it's more by how much than who wins, isn't it?
That's the question. I think this is going to be pretty brutal for the Dolphins, to be honest. I'm going to say Bills by 21.
Nice.
Go on, Aggie. You go up next, mate. Don't go last
Me,
every time.
I'm going to go Bills by the single score.
Respectable.
Interesting. Now, I'll jump on that because I do think that this is a case of, Sam, completely agree with you. I do think the Bills win comfortably, but not necessarily by what the score is at the end of the game. I think this is a case of them taking it steady, not pushing themselves too much. So I will go with Bills winning by no more than 10 points.
Okay. Kemp?
Bills by 17.
Interesting.
I think 17's a nice one. I like that one.
Yeah.
Up next, the Vikings against the Giants. Kemp.
Baby. The
Gotta
New
be
York
Kemp.
Football Giants.
He loves saying that, doesn't he?
You've got to, because it's the prestige.
Yeah,
That's the word, isn't it?
The New York Football Giants by 3. It'll be close. My heart will be in my asshole.
Skin?
Like I said, I had Giants down as my wildcard as my first pick, but as you mentioned, Sam, Kyle Brandt said that everyone's got the Giants as their wild card. We've all spoken about how the Vikings or Kirk Cousins specifically can't do it outside of Sunday 6 o'clock. I really want to pick the Giants, Kemp. I really, really, really want to. But if we're
It's
purely
okay.
I really, really want to say Giants by such and such. But if we're purely putting our name to a result and a score, I'm going to put Giants by 1 singular touchdown.
Giants?
Sorry, Vikings. Sorry.
You see him
Vikings.
teasing him there.
No, Vikings by 7.
Okay. Is it me next?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So as I said earlier, just every man and his dog seems to. Any upset's going to happen this weekend. Every man and his dog's picking it to this game. It's like the new hipster thing in it to pick the Giants this weekend. But no, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to back the Vikings by 10.
10?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Giants, and I'm going to go... I'm going to go 10 points, but I'm going to go in favour of Giants.
Oh, my
What?
fucking
What?
God.
Jesus, Ag.
Giants by 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kemp, I know this is Kemp, because this is, as we've said, I know we're doing quick fire round, but it is important to document this. And I know it's the first time in 6 years and might not happen again for a while. So, Tom Kemp, as unbiased as you can possibly give, genuinely, what do you think about Giants' potential playoff run here with what they've done so far this season?
I think the Vikings is the one I'm going to be most confident about. I think after that, we're getting into murky waters, to say the least. I think we're due to play the 49ers or the Seahawks after that, if we win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can't see the Seahawks winning. So, if the 49ers win, then I won't be too confident, to be honest. I'll be pretty downbeat and won't be that confident in our chances. But, mate, if the Seahawks win and we win, I'm going to be losing my fucking mind because we've got a shot in that game.
If
So,
we win, it won't be us you're
Sunday night.
playing, though, will it?
Depends.
Yeah, I was just about to say
It won't be us you're playing if
it's not
I
a
thought it
traditional.
was.
It's not a traditional knockout, is it? It's
Right.
seeding. So it's because you and the Seahawks, you and the Seahawks are quite like you'll be you pair the bottom seeds. So if you win, you'll be playing the highest.
18?
which will be Eagles. Oh no, we'd be playing Eagles if we win, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So you'd be playing Cowboys or Bucks.
So we'd be playing who?
Cowboys or Bucks.
You're playing Eagles or Niners.
What? Not if we win.
Okay.
No, but you're not going to win. You're not going to win.
That's not what he's saying, though, is it? That's not what he's saying.
Completely
That's not what he's saying.
Honestly,
if we were to win,
I've ever read. Just very quickly.
Kemp's not bothered about Seahawks winning though. If
the Giants plays in the next round,
realistically, if the Giants win, the Seahawks aren't going to win. So it's probably going to be.
Why is the Giants winning mean the Seahawks aren't going to win?
Yeah, but that's the point. Even if the Seahawks do win, we're not going to be playing them anyway, and it's up to me. It's my opinion of the Giants' run.
Right.
Yes.
So that's the point. So yeah, I mean, in that case, I'm thinking it's bloody FA Cup. Yeah, I'm not that confident. There's still huge gaps in our game. We're not a perfect team by any metric, but
mate, you went in 2008 and you went in 2011.
Yeah, we had playoff Eli though. Who says playoff DJ is going to be the same? But yeah, I've said it in the chat. If we beat the Vikings, I'll be happy, and then anything else apart from that's just a bonus.
Okay. Sunday night football then between the Bengals and the Ravens. I'm going to say the Bengals to win by 3 scores. So I'm going to go 21. Bengals to beat Ravens. Sam?
Bengals by 13.
Kemp?
Bengals by... it's tough, this one. because it's Bengals, but by what? I'm gonna say Bengals by 13.
Copycat.
Skin.
It's very tough purely based on Lamar's play status, but assuming that he's going to be out or not at 100%, I'm going to go Bengals by 28.
Wow.
Okay, and then Monday Night Football between...
When's Monday?
Monday.
Sounds like my kind of day, that.
The Bucks and the Cowboys.
Got
Skim, we'll start with you, seeing as they were, for a short period of time, at least, your wild card.
Yeah, I really, really wanted them. I wanted to back my boy. It is quick fire, so I'm just going to go Bucks by 10.
Kemp.
The Dallas Cowboys, it'll be close. I think the Dallas Cowboys by 3.
Nice.
Sam.
For me, again, I know it's quick fire, but this for me is the closest one of the weekend, because I really do think the Cowboys are a far better team this year. But when it comes down to who do I trust in the playoffs more, Brady or Dak, you can't not say Brady. So
That's it.
I am going to actually back the Bucks, and that's gone off of everything I've thought so far today. I'm going to back the Bucks by 3.
I was along the same sort of lines. Then I'm going to go by 7, though, just to be different. I'm still staying by the Bucks. What happened with the Cowboys on the last game of the season?
You do everything by the Bucks.
Yeah.
Nice. Absolutely fantastic.
Big fan. No, I'm standing by them. What happened on the last game of the season with the Cowboys really puts me off the idea of predicting them to win it all in this playoffs. So there's the playoff predictions. Skin, you wanted to ask us a question right at the end, or you asked me a question right at the end, so I'm going to come to you first for it. Multiple times throughout this season, we've looked at the standings and the sides that we think will be in the Super Bowl. For all of us, they have changed significantly. So I'm going to ask, now we know the playoff teams, who are your 2 Super Bowl teams?
I originally can't remember who the fuck I picked to be in the Super Bowl, to be honest. But
Bet it was
at
Bills,
some
'cause
point,
everyone has dog picked Bills.
Yep.
yeah, I want to say Bills Rams, but I might be way off on that. I really can't remember. But in one of our early episodes of Loaded Sport, when we were doing a bit of a mid-season review, I did say that I did fancy the Chiefs to beat the Niners in the Super Bowl based on the form at the time. And to be quite honest, in the weeks that have followed, I don't really see a reason to change that. So in answer to your question, I'm going to stick with that mid-season change and go that the Chiefs beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl in Feb.
Okay, Kemp.
I am going to. It's so close because I'm torn between the Chiefs and the Niners, and the Chiefs and the Eagles. I'm gonna back my boy Mudge. I'm gonna say the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Who wins?
The Chiefs.
I'm going to back my boy Mudge. I'm going to back my boy Mudge and give him
I can only back him to a
heartbreak in the
certain
den.
extent. I can only back him to a certain extent, to be fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, Sam.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chiefs Eagles also. I have backed the Eagles to win, but yeah, fuck it, I'm sticking with it. I'm going for Eagles to win.
Nice. I went for the Chiefs against the Niners with the Chiefs to win. But with my wild card being the Seahawks, I feel like I should probably change that ever so slightly after looking more into this weekend. I've gone so many different teams though. I started with the Bills against the Bucks, and then I moved to the Eagles against the Dolphins. It's been a nightmare for me. So whichever 2 teams I pick, you can probably bet on them not making it. So I'm gonna have to stick by it on. I'm gonna go with Chiefs Niners, even though I've kind of gone against it in my wild card.
Yeah, that's fair. And look, not all of our listeners are NFL fans, and not all of our listeners will still be listening at this point. But we, as NFL fans, know we keep saying any given Sunday, and we keep dropping that term, but it has meaning, it has history, and it gives you that little tingly feeling in your bones that literally anything can happen, and that's the meaning of the term. And naturally, we're going to pick at what is at the moment the informed teams, but any given Sunday could mean that a Seahawks somehow get a win in or at Levi Stadium and beat the San Francisco 49ers on Saturday night. Any given Sunday means a New York Giants could go to the 2nd seed in the NFC or the 3rd seed in the NFC and beat the Minnesota Vikings and get to the divisional round, we're naturally going to pick the best teams on paper. But come Feb 13th, when we have the Super Bowl, literally any two teams could be in that, and that is the beauty of the playoffs, and that is the beauty of the term any given Sunday.
There we go, lads. That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you very much for joining me to go through the NFL. Look forward to Wildcard Weekend and look forward to reviewing it all with you guys on Monday.